2 years ago, from this very chair, I announced to my mom and 200,000 people that we've adopted a puppy and his name is Arthur. At that time, my regular subscribers demanded that I give them regular updates. And so I do. Once a year. Oh, by the way, if you are subscribed to this channel, thank you. If you're not, do that now. Although you will have to wait another year for another dog update. Last year, you may remember, I talked about his first year being alive on planet Earth. Well, since then, he's gone from a puppy to a full-fledged dog. As in, he really ought to be grown up by now, but he isn't because I'm his dad. But having said that, it is significant. The amount of difference you see from being a puppy to a dog. A year ago, you may remember, he was still ripping up cushions like they were his toy, even though he has a coffee table full of old toys. And in the meantime, let me show you how much he's grown. Shake. What a good shake, mate. What a good shake. High five. Yeah, that's a good fella. That's a good fella. Oh, look, we're dropping it all, mate. He's actually about the same size as he was in part 2. But of course, growth can take many avenues. He's grown monetarily since this video is sponsored. Thanks, Arthur. But he's also grown emotionally and mature-wise. He's matured, is what I'm saying. In that first year, when he's a puppy, he was non-stop, on the go, all the time, trying to get his teeth on anything from the chair to his toys to the cat. And it just felt like he needed constant supervision, at least in those first 3 months. And, you know, being at that time the only person who sort of worked from home, I had to delegate a lot of the responsibilities to the cat, who was not forthcoming, nor particularly professional. So I was left on my own for much of that time, you know, and I started to think to myself, is it going to be like this forever? You know, have I just been lumped with the most excitable dog in the universe? And the answer to that is still yes, but he's less on the go all the time now. In fact, he spends a good portion of his time, as dogs should, because I've read about this, sleeping, chilling out, just laying on the sofa. And that was beautiful, especially for a YouTube sensation, because you need all the quiet you can get while filming. Now, this doesn't mean that all he does is sleep, otherwise that'd make for quite a grim update. Now that he's 2 and a bit years old, he has been learning new things. That's disgusting. You gotta remember that he is in human years an adolescent, I suppose, and so his brain is more developed. This is evidenced by the types of toy he is able to play with. When he was 3 months old, it was all about trying to chew the out of a squeaky pizza. And he still does that, but he also plays these games where he has to use logic. So for example, we have this game where you hide treats in random positions under these squares, and you have to slide the squares in order to find the treats. All right, Arthur, wait. The first few times that he played it, he used to just sort of randomly smash the buttons like I used to do when I played Street Fighter 2. But after a while, you could almost see the cogs turning in his head, because maybe he accidentally knocked one of the squares and he went, oh my gosh, light bulb moment, but in dog language. He realized, oh, I just moved that square. Oh, there's a treat. I move the next square. There's nothing there, but I'll move the next square. Look what's here. I'm a smart doggy. I didn't think that a dog that lived with me would be a gifted child. Let's face it.
You're gonna get one of those silly stickers that says my child is in the gifted program.
And put it on the back of my car?
Yeah.
No, but he is. My dog is more gifted than your dog, and I know that because he understands words. Basic words, admittedly, and he only tends to listen if you've got some dried chicken in your hand. Come, that's it, sit. Good doggy. All right, twist. That's a good fella. Lay. What a good doggy. Basically, Arthur has been my shadow, my roommate, and my only source of exercise for the last 2 years. And in that time, I've learned a lot. Like how he somehow knows that I'm about to leave and specifically goes to the window. But also how much what he eats actually affects everything. His energy, his coat, even how he smells, which, believe me, really matters when you're sharing a mattress. That's why I switched to Sundays for Dogs. It's real, human-grade ingredients, air-dried, like beef jerky, so it stays fresh without needing a fridge. But the real test is what Arthur thinks about it. Well, he ate the entire thing straight away, which is unusual for him, so I think this food is a winner. And honestly, I love it too. Not that I've eaten it. yet. But no messy prep, no artificial preservatives, just scoop, serve, and feel like a responsible dog parent. So if you want to try it for your dog, get 50% off your first order at sundaysfordogs.com/lostinthepond, or use my code LOSTINTHEPOND at checkout, because they deserve the best, even if they do steal your spot on the bed. But sometimes I don't even have to tell him. There are certain habits that he picked up on day one of living with us that I imagine he'll probably do for the rest of his life. For instance, do you remember in part 2 when I said this? In a moment, I'll be taking out the trash, and when I do, Arthur will follow me to the garage, watch me go in, and then go to the gate to watch me come out. How do I know this? Because he's done that every single time since day one. I think it might be a tradition of these videos for me to give you an update on whether he's still coming to the trash cans with me or not. Are you coming? Or are you just going to watch? What on earth, mate? I swear, he usually comes with me and has done every day for the past 2 years. And now the camera's on him, he doesn't know what to do. If I go in here. There we go, that's it. Dropped a can on the way. I'll have to pick that up in a sec. He's hiding in the trees down here. Let's leave that one, Arthur. That's for Daddy. I'll pick that up, mate. Another piece of trash there. Also, I don't know why, but he does this thing where he waits at the door like this. You open the door for him to come in, and he runs away. So now I'll take a step back, we'll close it, and he comes back to the door. You're coming in, little fella. He heard something. He heard another dog. He just heard another dog out of the front window, and he's run to go check on that. What is it, fella? Where's he gone? No, I take that back. He just ran past me and left again. Now, all of this footage that you're seeing of Arthur on his own or with me might give you the impression that he doesn't have any friends. And all I would say to that is, why would he need friends when he lives with the actual Lawrence Brown? Despite that, he somehow does have other friends. These are other dogs that occasionally visit him. It might be dogs of friends or family. And I don't know if this is going to be something that he does for the rest of his life, but he is always the instigator of fun. The other dogs, some of them, you know, much older than Arthur, don't want anything to do with it. They're like, bugger off, you annoying little dog. And those aren't my words, they are my words. In part 2, I showed you his frisbee and how much he'd taken to that after about a year of being on Earth. This is the frisbee today. He's grown out of it. But other dogs obviously help him to socialize, to bark at the postman, and to exercise, hence why he's now asleep on the sofa. And this is why we're giving deep consideration to having another one. I'd love a much smaller one so that A, they're more manageable on a walk, B, they don't take up as much room in the bed, and 3, I can just pick them up like that. Even as I sit here editing this very video for your viewing pleasure, I've literally now just discovered something about my dog that I didn't know before. I'm currently editing this bit. This bit features one of his many dog friends. That dog friend is wearing a dog tag that makes a very metallic sound when it shakes. Well, while I was playing the clip, Arthur, in real life, thought that that dog was here. You know what though, he might be playful with me, with all these other dogs, and with my sock drawer. But one thing he surprisingly doesn't give two hoots about are birds. It used to be, when we go on a walk, he would try to pull very fast at 3 things: squirrels, bunnies, and birds. Leave the bird alone. What's it done to you? Come on. You can almost bank on it. But nowadays, if it has wings, he doesn't care. I think he's figured out that, oh, they're magic. They can actually float. Not going to bother with them, which is great for me because we've not had any of those surprises that dogs are supposed to bring their owners. He hasn't really brought us anything bad except for a lump of shit. But there's one friend in his life that still remains somewhat elusive, and that is the cat. It's always the cat. Arthur, from day one, really, has tried. He's tried very hard to cultivate a lasting, meaningful friendship with this grumpy old man. And the situation is better. You know, I think when you were first introduced to Arthur, Kafka was hissing at him, running away from him, batting him. I think the more that Arthur's matured, the more he's gotten the message that Kafka's not interested. I don't know why it took him so long, but it did. So he doesn't chase him around the living room as much these days. And you might be watching this and thinking, Lawrence, you've told us how the dog has changed. This is a lot of responsibility Yeah, I know, I can take it. How have you changed? That's still you asking me, not me asking you. And I've changed irreparably.
Come on.
I think I've become a more responsible person. I have to put their needs before my own.
I'm the only one running.
And do you know how hard that is when you have an ego like mine? It's not just, ooh, because I love him. It's also because I'm aware of the fact that I, as a human being, could live until 100. He might, if he's lucky, have a fifth of that time. And so, of course, you know, it would be ridiculously selfish of me if I didn't try to prioritize his time over mine. So no more wild parties till 3 a.m. Now, it's until 2 a.m. Anyway, I hope that my dog brings you as much joy as he brings me. Something that's only not apparent on my face because I'm British. We'll return soon with a more regular Lost in the Pond type video. But in the meantime, why not go back all the way to part 1 and binge watch the first 3 videos in this series, including this one again, so that I can profit from my dog. Until the next time, goodbye. Hello, mate. You want to go check out the garage?